I did not ask. From like the corner of my eye, I see him starting to jog across the gym to me. What are you doing? Did I ask? No. And then he takes his phone out and shows pictures of his back. I'm like, my bicep. So I put my thumb like that. I'm like, no, leave me alone. I have to press it down. And I press it down. He's like, press it down. Like, what do you want me to do? What? My thumb cannot do yoga. Oops. I'm just gonna close the garage. It's broken, so we're opening and closing it manually. Emmanuel. Hello guys. Welcome back to another video. Just kidding. Hello. Long time no see. I didn't upload a video yesterday because no reason. Excuses. No, there is only excuses for my wrongdoings. Well, hello, I'm back. I hope you had a good weekend. I mean, it's Wednesday, so I hope you had a good weekend and a good start on this week. Today, well, I've changed my gym schedule because, well, Saturday and Sunday is my rest day. And I feel like, so my mans says like, when you're free, like when the weekend comes, then you're just at home. But that's the best time to go work out, basically. Otherwise, the whole day you're just lazy. I mean, not everyone, but you know. And I was like, yeah, facts. So I've changed my schedule. So Monday and Thursdays is rest day. So I do Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And Mondays, you know, it's the first day of the week. You're tired. You'd be like, ugh, that's perfect. It's just rest day, you know? So yeah. But I'm working on Friday, so we'll see about that. But yeah, I think it will be fine. I was actually planning for my next video. I don't know if I should post it like during the weekdays or the weekend. Maybe the weekend or maybe tomorrow, I don't know. But I was gonna do a how to get motivated to the gym or coming to the gym. I think that would be interesting, or at least my take. I've only worked out for a year now, as I've said before 100 times, but yeah, I've only started working out, and I remember when I started working out, it was bad. I had so much gym anxiety, and I was so afraid. And you know, when you're a beginner and you see everyone working out, they're fit, they know what they're doing, they just take over the gym like, yeah, it's at their place, which it is. yeah, but as a new beginner, you get pretty anxious because you don't know what to do. Am I doing the workouts correctly? Does this look okay? Do I look ugly? Like, how do I look? Is my outfit on point? You know, all of these aspects, you have to take them into consideration. Go, please. What happened? You have to take everything into consideration. Or that's what you do. You don't have to do that, because after a year of working out for real, no one cares. No one cares about you. They really don't. Literally. Everyone is just up in their heads. They're so focused. They're so focused. And they're just doing their own thing. No one cares about you. They really don't. Because in the beginning, when you start working out, the only thing you're worried about is, oh, do I look good in this? Or, oh, is this workout, like, am I doing this correctly, or whatever. You're so up in your head, and you're constantly thinking about what's wrong with you, or do you do anything wrong? That's the same about everyone else in the gym. Everyone is thinking about themselves. And when you've come to a point where you feel comfortable in the gym, you know what you're doing, you're still just thinking about yourself, flexing in the mirror. No one cares about you. No one. Literally. But gym anxiety is, it's not nice. But I do have a couple of tips. I was anyways thinking about doing a whole video about that, just chit-chatting, and maybe like how you should think, and where your mindset should be when you start working out and stuff like that. I think that would be nice to do a video of that. So we'll see about that. I don't know if I said this, but today is back. We're doing pull. Pull. Yeah, exactly. We're doing pull, and it's mostly, of course, back and biceps. And I've actually come up with, I didn't. When I worked out with my mans, I kind of took some of his workouts and just included them in mine. So now my back workout routine, I really like it. It's actually really fun. I usually liked doing legs more, but now I do appreciate a back workout day. I really do. It's actually really fun. And we love a sexy back, right? We love a sexy back. If your gym anxiety is really bad, I have a tip. It's not a tip, but this is what I do. Just put your headphones in. This might be the worst tip, but it works. I really do. Just put your headphones in and just blast music that makes you really comfortable, and just put it on max, and then just take the gym. Put on some Beyonce, I don't know, whatever floats your boat, and just. I'm done. But speaking of gym anxiety, why does these things always happen to me? Like, it always happens to me. Literally, I'm minding my own business, okay? I'm minding my own business, and then I'm doing this pull row thing you do for your back. And then this man comes up to me and be like,
I noticed that he's watching me, so I'm doing my thing, and he's watching, and then he comes up to me, and I'm like, oh, because I might be social, but I don't want to speak to anyone when I'm at the gym, especially. I don't want to speak to anyone. Like, leave me. Anyways, he comes up to me and he'd be like, hey, can I give you some tips? And I'm like, yeah, of course. No, I was like, yeah, sure, because I mean, he looked like he knew what he was doing, so I was like, okay. Anyways, he came up to me and he was like, okay, think about doing the exercise like this. Hold your hand like this. Try to, when you go forward, like bend your back, and then when you go back, try to be more straight and like aim at your belly button with the machine thing. I was like, okay, yeah, well, thank you. I'll think about that. So I did my thing, and then he went, and then he came back, and I was like, oh, just a little tip again. I was like, yeah, sure. So I was taking my earphones out, and then he was like, oh, put your thumb like this. I was like, my thumb? What's wrong with my thumb? He was like, put your thumb like this. So I put my thumb like that. He was like, no, you have to press it. Like, press it hard. Like, take a good grip. I was like, I'm doing it. Like, I'm literally gripping it. Can you see my knuckles are white? So I was like, yeah, okay. And he's like, okay, do it like this. I'm like, thank you, thank you. And then I went to another machine, or not another machine. I went to get some paper to dry the freaking machine off. And then he followed me. Okay, I will explain in the car what happens.
Okay, so what happened was he started to follow me, like, to the paper thing, because I needed to, like, dry off the machine. And he comes up to me and he's like, are you Arab? I'm like, no, I'm Persian. He's like, oh, we're the same, you know, whatever. And then he says, like, okay, so when you want to increase the weight, you have to do it like this. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I do. Like, he just was assuming a lot of things. And then he was like, okay, so I took, I don't know what it was, I think it was 35 kilograms. And he was like, yeah, so when I take 50, I usually do 50, 55, 60, whatever. I'm like, I did not ask. Literally did not ask. I was like, okay, yeah, fine. And then he's like, okay, so I saw that how long do you wait before you do or start a new set? And I usually wait between 30 seconds and a minute, like up to a minute. That's how long I wait. He's like, no, that's not good. That's wrong. I'm like, okay. And then he shows me his watch. He's like, do you see this? Do you see my pulse thing? I don't know what's that in English, but do you see my pulse? You have to stay between this range, whatever. So I wait 10 to 20 seconds. You cannot wait more, because then you will not build muscles. You will not lose weight. You will not do whatever. I'm like, do you even know what my goal is? Do you have any idea? No, you don't. And I just wanted to, like, okay, just go. Leave me, like, thank you for your tip. Literally, like, I'm not the person who do not take, like, tips from other. I'm more than happy to take tip. Like, I'm also, I have only been, like, to the gym for a year. So, of course, I would gladly take tip. He's, like, talking, and then he was like, okay, so there is another workout that you can do, because I saw that you were doing it like this, but you have to do it like this. And I was like, okay. He's like, so it's you lay down on your back and then you do these ones. I'm like, do you mean bench press? He's like, yeah, bench press. I'm like, I do them. Okay, first of all, I already do them. I didn't say that, but I do them. And it was like, you have to hold it like this, you have to do this, so you open up here. I'm like, yeah, thank you for the tip. Thank you, Einstein. I'm like too raw. Anyways, so he was like, you have to do it like this, whatever. And then I was laughing and I was like, okay, yeah, thank you. Like, I will take that into consideration, whatever. Oh, and then he says, yeah, but you can just ask anyone. You can ask me if you would like to. If you see anyone with a good physique in here, you can just ask them if you need help, whatever. I'm like, thank you. Thank you. Did I ask? Did I ask? No. So I go to do biceps, and I usually do them with rope thing. Oh, and by the way, before I went, he was like, yeah, I'm your brother, like, you can ask me, you know, we're family. I'm like, no, but thank you. Anyways, so then I go and to do my biceps. So I take I do biceps with this rope thing. So I do them, you know, when you stand and you do these ones with your bicep. Yeah. So I do them, and then I see him from like the corner of my eye. I see him starting to jog across the gym to me. I'm like, please God, no. I only have one workout left. Please, like, please. I just want to go home and eat my food. Like, just leave me alone, please. So he runs up to me and he's like, I'm starting to get mad at you. I'm just joking. He's like, no, I'm just joking. But, and then, oh, you know what he do? Without asking me, he starts to pull the thing to put it up high. You know the rope thing when you plug it in? You can adjust it so it's further down or further up. He starts to plugging it out to put it further up. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And then before he starts to push it up, he's like, what are you working? I'm like, my bicep. He's like, oh, I thought you were doing face pull. I'm like, face pull? You know, these ones? I'm like, no, that's not what I'm doing. You have no idea what I'm doing. Like, you have literally no idea. Anyways, so he's like, oh, I thought you were doing this. And then he was talking for like 5-10 minutes about how to do a good face pull. And then he takes his phone out and shows pictures of his back. He's like, do you see my back? This is what you do, or this is what you train when you do face pulls. Do you see this? And then he starts to like pull his shirt up. Do you see this muscle? And this is really good. You really want this, and you want to build it, and whatever. I'm like, are you serious? Like, are you for real? I take tips any time of the day. Or anytime. I'm so frustrated. I love tips. Like, give me tips. If I do something wrong, of course I'd love to get some tip and then, you know, improve and be better. There's nothing wrong with that. But he was in my face. So he was like pulling his shirt and like, oh, do you see this muscle? I was like, yeah. No, I don't see that muscle. No. Oh, the funniest part was I had it on, I don't know how many kilograms. I think it was like 15 or something. And then he was like, oh, I usually take 50, which was the last weight. He's like, I usually take 50 and then I do it like this and this. And then he said, why are you using a rope? I'm like, because I like this exercise. And he looks me dead in the eyes and be like, no one does that anymore. That's not a good exercise. And then he says, oh, give me that one. It's one of these hard plastic things that looks like this. You hold it like this. He's like, plug that in instead. He's like, you have to hold it like this. You have to put your thumb like this. So I put my thumb like that. And he's like, you have to press it down. And I pressed it down. He's like, press it down. Like, what do you want me to do? What? My thumb cannot do yoga. So he was like, oh, you have to stand like this. Your hands have to be like this. And like, I was just, please, for the love of God, I only have one exercise. Leave me alone. And then he took the weight thing And I had it on 15, so he put it on 10. He was like, you have to take less weight so that you really can work on your technique, because the most important part is the technique, not the weight. And then he said like 5 seconds ago, like, I take 50 kilograms. And he's like, if you watch mine over there, you can see I have about 12. Because I'm working on my technique. And then he starts to be like shaming others. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people come here and I've seen them for years, but I don't see any progress. They just look the same. So they're doing something wrong. You know, I've been working out a lot and I've giving a lot of tips to a lot of people. So just if you want to like go on YouTube, search for back exercises and do them. I was just baffled. What is going on? Like, what is going on? There's been a couple of times people have come up to me like before and given me tip that I don't need, literally tip that I really don't need, but I'm always like, you know, kind and be like, oh, thank you so much for the tip, I will think about that, whatever. I already knew that, but I will think about that. Like, on God, believe me, I'm not the type of person who does not take tip from other people and be like, oh, I know what I'm doing. No, of course, I'm not an expert. I'm definitely not an expert. I'd love to get tips. I'd love to hear how I can improve. I'd take anything, literally. But when your tips or suggestions aren't based on like factual things, I was just like, what are you doing? And the fact that he comes in like during my set, I'm literally doing my set. He's coming up to me and he'd be like, I'm really mad at you now. I'm just kidding. But what are you doing? I'm like, bicep. And while I say that, he starts to changing my weight and telling me to switch tools. The thing is, his argument for changing the rope thing to this hard, like, grippy thing, it was because he didn't like the rope. He said, no, I don't like that. Use that one. You have to stand like this. And then he was talking for like 10 minutes. I could literally be done right by now. And then he says, like, oh, you have to go on YouTube and look up leg exercises, and the next time you're here, if you see me, you can ask. Again, I'm not saying I'm not down for tips. I'd love to get tips, especially if you've been working out for such a long time. But even then, if I haven't asked you and I know what I'm doing, like literally the back thing. So I have short legs. I'm 160 centimeters, so I'm pretty short. So this pull row thing where you sit down and you pull like this, that exercise, I cannot bend my back too much because I'm too short. So when I was bending, he was like, bend more, bend more. I'm like, dude, can't you see that I cannot bend more? I could not bend more because I'm too short. It's not that I'm not flexible, it's just couldn't bend more because the machine thing were like, it was the end of the machine. I cannot bend more. And I just took out my earphones so many times. I was like, yeah, what do you want? Yeah, what do you want? Yeah, what do you want? And I usually see him there pretty often. I don't know if he's new there. I really do hope that I don't like see him there that much, because just felt like he thought that I had no idea what I was doing. I was doing bicep, and he thought I was doing face pulls. Are you for real? He thought that I didn't know what a bench press was. He was teaching me how to do a bench press. He's like, you have to do this one. I'm like, this is pull. I'm doing that on push days. Oh my God. I'm usually not this mad. I'm not mad. It was just a weird situation. And the fact that he started to show pictures of himself, like, did I ask? Did I literally ask to see your back? No. And when I was doing bicep thing, he had told me that when you're doing bicep, or when you want to increase the weight, you increase it by 5 kilograms at the time, like each time. I told him when I do bicep, I usually start very heavy, and then I do drop sets. So I do 15, then I do 12, then I do 10. And I told him like, oh, but I increase it each set. He's like, no, don't do that. That's not good, actually. Do it like this instead. Again, I'm not saying don't give me tips. In this case, please don't give me tips. Anyways, I'm home now, thank God. Thing is, he thought that, oh, you and me are friends, like I can give you tips, whatever. He's like, oh, you're Persian, like my sister, we're like family. And then the time he said like, I'm really getting mad at you, I'm joking. He was like, I'm joking. It wasn't that he was mean or anything. He was literally like just giving me tips. But you cannot assume things. You have no idea what the other people at the gym, you have no idea what their goals are. You have no idea how long they've worked out, if they've had, I don't know, if they have any like physical issues. I don't know. You have no idea. You have no idea. Absolutely no idea. If someone is doing bicep, like if they're working out their bicep and then they be like this, then yeah, maybe you could say like, oh, hey, by the way, I saw that you were working your bicep or whatever. Just a tip, if you do it like this, then that would be better. But don't come back 7 times, be like, oh, another tip, oh, do this, oh do... Anyways, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. But yeah, he was nice, but it felt like he was mansplaining everything. That's what it felt like. It really did feel like he was mansplaining, and he thought that I had no clue on what I was doing. That's what it felt like. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking now. Thank you for listening to this rant. But just a tip, if you're going to the gym, do your own thing. If someone wants to give you a tip, like a genuine tip, take it. Like literally take it. It's always good to improve. It's always good to hear from others. Like, I'm not an expert. I'm definitely not an expert. I could use some tips sometimes, but don't be like, if you know what you're doing, if you're confident in what you're doing, stick to that. Like, don't think that just because some dude or some girl gives you like, oh, you're doing this wrong, oh no, that exercise is not good, you have to do my exercise. No, do your thing. Do your thing. You don't have to listen to everything someone says. Absolutely not. If you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing. just because I don't know, he's been working out for how many years and you've just started, it doesn't mean that you don't know what you're doing. Absolutely not. But yeah, do your thing. Do your thing. Anyways, I really do hope that I don't see him that much. Or if I see him, I really do hope that he doesn't come up with new tips. I need to stop. Yeah. Anyways, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Be strong. Do your thing. And don't listen to what other people say if it's not relevant and if they're not like basing it off of factual things. Okay, like, comment, share, you know what you gotta do to support your gal. Yeah, okay.